Hey, what's up, y'all? So today I'm reviewing the Hemiway Cruiser electric bike, and I'm about to let you know how good this bike is for the $1699 price tag. So right now it's on sale though for $1599, but the sales come and go, but hopefully you can get it at a good price. But no matter what price you get it at, this is a nice looking bike. So the majority of the bike is in this matte black finish, but on the battery you have some silver there, and I really like how that kind of breaks up the plain black look of this bike, which I typically like, but I love how the silver is thrown in here. So it makes this bike look really good. And this bike does come standard with a few things like this wooden rear rack here on the back that also does add to the look of it, but also it is functional. So this bike has a total weight capacity of 350 pounds. So you can put a decent amount of groceries on the back of this bike if you want to, if you attach a bag on that rack. And then also it does come with front and rear fenders as well. So that's gonna help keep you protected when you do take this bike off-road, or if you're cruising around in the city and you hit a puddle, you should be good to go. Now on the front of this bike, it is ready for you to add a front basket if you do choose so. Hemiway does sell one that does look really cool, but of course you can get your own from somewhere else. And Hemiway did a great job with the cable management up front too. Everything is tied down and not sloppy. Everything is tucked away nicely. And then also I love the handlebar placement of all the different things on here. So on the left-hand side, you will find a bell. And I like the fact that the bell is not, on the handlebar itself. It's kind of like right behind the controller. So it does free up the handlebars for you adding different things like phone mounts and stuff. And then also right below the bell, you will find the controls for the really big display here. So this isn't a color display, but it is big and bright. It's very easy to see all the information that you have on here, your odometer, also your watt meter, all those things are on this big display here. So you have a lot of information to look at. But I really do like the controls for this display because everything is identified really easily. So you have a dedicated button there for the headlight, one for an information button, and then also you have your plus and minus buttons to be able to go up and down the pedal assist. Now I bring up the identification of the buttons because a lot of these type of electric bikes, you have to learn a combination of buttons. Sometimes you have to press two buttons to turn on the lights, or you have to press and hold down the button to hit the information. But now I love having just these dedicated buttons so you know exactly what you need to press to get what you want. And then on the right hand side, you do have these shifter controls here for the Shimano 7-speed derailleur that this bike does have. So you can go up and down your gears just using this. And then also the handlebar grips are really nice too. Now let's go back for a second and talk about the headlights. So again, you have the controls for the headlights on the handlebars, and this is the brightest headlight that I've used on an electric bike. I think it comes in at 48 volts and it definitely will light up the night. I really love that. It's super, super bright. And then on the back, you do have an integrated brake light too. So when you do press down on the brake levers, it will activate that brake light. It will start blinking. And then of course, when you do have the headlight on, the brake light will just be on. But again, it will start blinking if you do press down on the brake levers. So those two things are really good. Now Hemiway says their recommended height for a rider for this bike is between 5'4" and 6'2". And then also this bike does weigh 72 pounds. And so it's not super heavy, but it's also definitely not light. But one thing I really do like is that on the seat, you do have a handle right below the seat that you'll be able to grab and be able to pick up this bike really easily to take it up and down stairs or move it around, different corners and stuff. So I love having that. You don't find that on every single bike. It's a little minor detail, but definitely makes a difference when you are moving this bike around. And then also with the seat, it is a wide saddle. It is a soft saddle too, so it's very comfortable. I've taken this bike out on multiple days, multiple trips, and I never find myself having to readjust my butt because this seat is comfortable right out the gate. And the front suspension that this bike has also makes the ride comfortable. You can adjust that suspension system to lock it out or unlock it depending on the terrain that you're riding on. And yeah, this with the seat does make it a really comfortable ride. And so the tires on this Hemiway Cruiser come in at 26 by 4 inches. So yeah, they're fat tires that are good for the potholes that we have out here in St. Louis, but also too good for taking it out in some grass and some dirt and some gravel. They have a good amount of traction on them, so they're good for going off-road. And then also the brakes on this bike are mechanical disc brakes. So they're not the better hydraulic disc brakes, but they still are decent for getting you to a stop when you need them to. All right, so let's talk about the battery. So it does come with a 48 volt, 17.5 amp hour battery that has an 840 watt hour capacity. And the good thing about this battery is that it is removable. So you can use one of the two keys that this bike comes with to be able to unlock that battery, take it inside with you, or if you ride this bike to work, you can take the battery inside, charge it up while you're working, and then when you're ready to go home, just put that battery back on the bike. And then also as far as the range, they say you can get between 35 to 60 miles out of a single charge. Now, as I always say, that range is going to be dependent on multiple factors as far as the weather, the terrain, if you're going up hills, how much you weigh, how much stuff you're carrying with you. all those things will matter. But for me, I feel very confident in saying you can get around, I would say 40 to 45 miles if you are using a lot of the throttle, and then also combining that with one of the 5 levels of pedal assist. But if you do use mostly pedal assist while you're riding out, I can definitely see people getting around that 45 to 50 mile range without a problem. Oh, and one other little minor detail about the battery is that right here on the top of the battery, you do have this little indicator that will let you know how much charge you have, and you can just press that button and it will light up. And I'm bringing this up because a lot of these battery packs, they have this indicator, but it's in an awkward position, maybe on the bottom of the battery or in a place where you can't just walk up to the bike and see it. So a little touch like that does make a difference for me. Now let's talk about power for a second. So on the back of this bike, you will find a 750 watt motor. And so right now, let's go ahead and get on this bike and I'll talk to you about the speed that you can get using pedal assist, just using the throttle, and also unlocking the speed for you speed devils out there that you can also do with this bike. Okay, so let's talk about speed. So right out of the box, this bike really loves to go 22 miles per hour. So when you are using pedal assist, and I was going at a moderate pace, not too much, not too little, it hung around 22 miles per hour. And then when I just used the throttle only, it also stuck at 22 miles per hour. But now when I did put some effort into it, I was able to get up to 25 miles per hour using pedal assist, but you know, I was kind of tired after a couple of minutes of doing that. Now the good thing is that you can unlock the speed a little bit for this bike. So it's not a drastic change, but it will help out a little bit. And so there's some YouTube videos that show you how to do it. It takes a couple of seconds, and then after you do that, you can get a higher speed, and let's see what that is. And 3, 2, 1, boom, let's go. So this does have a twist throttle that you use to be able to accelerate. Acceleration is not too bad, but we're at 16 miles per hour already. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and yeah, about 25. Yeah, about 25.5 is what I've been able to get on flat land with this. So it's really hanging around that 24, 25 mile per hour mark. And now I'm going to be using pedal assist. And let me turn my gears up a little bit. And let's see what we get. I am putting some effort into it. And I'm at 23, 24, 25, 26. All right, I hit 26 and let's hit the brakes. All right, so yeah, 26 miles per hour using pedal assist after you unlock it, but it will take some effort, as you can hear from my breathing. But it is good that just using the throttle only, it does go up to 25 miles per hour. So that's gonna make for some faster cruising around. All right, so my final takeaway for this Hemingway Cruiser is that it's a bike that doesn't really stand out as far as like trying to break the mold, but what they've done with this bike is made something that is solid from the front all the way to the back, and little touches like having this handle for the seat to be able to pick up this bike a little bit easier. That little battery indicator right there on the top of the battery that makes it very easy to find. And I also really like the controls for this big display, and that headlight is super bright. And then you also get a brake light. So they've really taken a lot of those core things that we find with electric bikes and just put a little bit of extra polish on them, and you sometimes don't find this on bikes, especially of this price range, and even for other bikes that cost even more. Then the final thing is that it just looks good. This fits my style. Like, I love this color. I love the little brown here with the wood for the rear rack. Just adds a little bit of extra touch to it, but this black and silver design looks really good. So yeah, this is the Hemingway Cruiser. I'll leave a link down below so you can check out more information about this bike or pick it up for yourself. I'll leave that in the description. Is this your next or first electric bike? Let me know in those comments, and also be sure to like this video if you liked it. Hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. And like always, I do want to thank you for watching this video, and I will catch you later. Peace.